Creating, supporting, and attracting a knowledge workforce is one of the intelligent community pillars. Each year, rural Minnesota communities send their top students off to college. Getting them to move back into the community is a goal of every one of these communities. Last year at this conference, we had student teams from 2 universities share their perspective about the role of technology in rural communities. This year, we invited the team from the University of Minnesota Morris to return. We challenged them to consider the intelligent community approach and to talk with our demonstration communities about their use of this approach for promoting technology adoption. Please help me welcome some of our best and brightest from the University of Minnesota Morris: Tara Greiman, Samantha Bruno, Will Dozal, Clara Dux, and Joshua Preston. Welcome.
Thank you, everyone. As Bill said, we are the student group for the University of Minnesota. I really appreciate being here and for the comfy accommodations they have given us. As you said, my name is Will Dolezal. I'm in my 4th year at the University of Minnesota. I'm studying environmental economics, and I come from Minneapolis.
Hi, I'm Sam Bruno. I'm from Foley by St. Cloud.
Would you guys
Over here? Okay, hi, I'm Sam Bruno. I'm from Foley. I'm a sophomore this year at Morris, and I am a studio art major.
Hi, I'm Tara Greiman. I'm a double major in environmental studies and psychology. I'm in my senior year at the University of Minnesota Morris, and I am from Dayton, Minnesota.
Hi everyone, my name is Josh Preston, my 3rd year at the university where I'm double majoring in political science and economics, and I'm from Montevideo, Minnesota.
Good afternoon. I'm Clara Dux. I am from Stewartville, Minnesota, and it is my 4th and final year at U of M as a psychology major.
All right, well, I'm going to get us started here. We were asked by the Blandin Foundation to consider the intelligent community framework and look at 11 communities and how they were tackling these issues from a youth perspective. So our presentation is going to consist of some problems that we saw, or some challenges, move towards some solutions, and kind of see how youth perspective looks at these solutions. Give me a second trying to figure this thing out here. Nope. All right. Here are some of the communities that we looked at. I'm sure you've seen this map before in the packets. All right, I'm going to start off talking about some challenges that we've noticed that several communities have faced. And one of these big ones I'll talk about first is appreciation. Appreciation is kind of the valuing and understanding. And with this, I'm going to be talking about broadband. Understanding how broadband is so important to our communities. Large businesses understand broadband and they appreciate it. As we heard last night from Robert, Geek Squad uses networks to interconnect all of their agents in the field, off the field, and to interconnect them and all their resources to create a network of support that's really dynamic. But how do businesses in small towns appreciate broadband? This is a question I'll be talking about. They're not exactly like Fortune 500 companies or like Geek Squad. They have different kinds of needs, but do they still appreciate it? Oops. Unfortunately, it seems that most of these small businesses, due to the rate of low grant acceptance, don't appreciate broadband as much as we'd like them to. They're kind of stuck in their regular routine, and so no reason to change. They still find their own way to work properly, and as I like to coin it as a term, so they're stuck in the icebox. It's important and it's also crucial that the importance of broadband be communicated to them through numerous ways. Broadband is important and that needs to be repeated. Broadband is important and that needs to be repeated. Let me say one more time. Broadband is important and that needs to be repeated. Repeating that phrase will catch their attention as it caught yours, but unless it's brought across tactically, it's not likely to stick. To get this message to stick and to gain some ground with them, it's important to bring this message across in a way that shows how broadband can address their needs and solve their problems directly. They have different needs than, like, say, the Geek Squad does. So communicating what they need and how they can get it from broadband is extremely important. Selling their refrigerator with the right pitch is exactly what we need to protect our small businesses and rural communities. One more thing I'd like to talk about, another challenge, comes from understanding what we're truly tackling here. Understanding what the challenge is. It said that in the field of project management, a good majority of the projects that fail often do because of poor challenge definition, poor definition of what the issue is and what they're trying to solve. And this usually happens in their early phases. An example of this that I'll be talking about is a senior center that a little while ago had a grant drawn up for it to develop a computer lab inside of it. Seemed like a great idea. Look at the digital inclusion and everything. They got the computer lab set up, and everyone thought it was a win-win situation. But if you look closely at it, the grant did not actually allocate any money for training or technical support of that computer lab. In fact, even after a couple of months, the seniors said that they felt intimidated by this computer lab, mostly because they didn't know what it was there for, and they thought it was inviting their private space. Seniors lack the knowledge to use these computers, and that's something that really needs to be emphasized with that. They got the access, but didn't have the knowledge to properly use the computers. They needed the training for it. As you kind of see, this lady here obviously needs more training in technology herself. Some of these reasons we get them to use it as connecting to their family and many other things. My grandmother once told me that she enjoyed getting the gift of the computer to connect with my siblings that are studying abroad and traveling abroad. What she really appreciated was that I was available the whole entire summer to come over about once a week and address her questions on how to email, where her address book was, how to use like Firefox and everything like that. That's what she truly appreciated. This is why understanding the importance of the issue and what needs to be addressed in the issue and how it relates to broadband is so important. It's one thing to throw seeds across a field, but it's a completely different thing and a completely better thing to actually cultivate those seeds as something that's beneficial. Up next, my group mate Sam will talk more about specific issues in rural communities.
Okay. There. Can you guys hear me? Okay. So, we've just heard about some of the general issues facing the broadband expansion. Now I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about specific issues that the 11 demonstration communities are running into. Of course, we all know that there's general disconnects occurring all across the state and nation in regards to expansion. But as we conducted our research among the 11 demonstration communities, we gained a better understanding for their specific problems. Unfortunately for this analysis, many of the communities so far have just begun working through the planning stages and have had little practical applications of their ideas. The majority of the communities who responded to our questions had only finished processing the necessary paperwork and released their calls for proposals. Although each community is at a different stage in the planning process, one theme was common among their replies. It was, of course, the need for proposals. Without practical ideas, these grand projects that could put small towns on the map will never be more than a distant wish. Planning committees have been formed, along with the basic infrastructure, but the next step is to gather community members and pair them with projects. In talking with Nancy Hoffman, the Economic Development Director from Benton County, their bidders conference was attended by around 30 people. That shows that the community is interested in broadband expansion. The largest problem for Benton County, as well as many of the other communities, is a disconnect in informing all of the residents of the available options. Some of the demonstration communities are cities, while others are counties and some are even regions. So connecting every one of the residents is a very challenging task. Currently, some of the choices they've used are blog references, newspaper ads, and words of mouth. If the broadband initiative is going to move forward to create a culture of use and interconnectivity within communities, the interconnectivity is crucial. Regrettably, front porch conversations and newspapers rarely inspire the neighborhood to get active in the community, and some poorly designed websites make it really difficult for us to find more information. Another key feature that is currently in progress is a motivated project leader. Right now, individual communities are asking for ideas on where to put their grant money. However, without a strong leader who has the time, which is really important, the time to form these programs, the programs will fall apart. We have to have the time and the energy to dedicate to the broadband expansion. Benton County is in particular looking at community organizations to act as a base from which volunteers will radiate. Other communities are at similar stages in planning. Since we wanted to